The NFL is back. Thank you guys for joining us again on Big B Sports Talk. Man, it is exciting. The Lions take on the Chiefs tonight. Today on Big B Sports Talk, we're breaking down the NFC, all divisions. We also got a surprise Super Bowl pick at the end, so make sure you stick around to the end. It's going to surprise you. Let's get into this, people. All right. Thank you guys again for joining Big B Sports Talk. This is Brian Hanley. Again, podcast or anywhere that you get podcasts, also on YouTube and TikTok, Big B Sports Talk. Please come check us out. So let's get into this. NFC, who's winning each division? Let's break it down. Obviously the NFC is not as good as the AFC. I mean, that's pretty easy to understand. But that doesn't mean that it's not as exciting. It just doesn't. I know a lot of people, and we're going to start off with the NFC North. A lot of people are on the Lions. I fought, and I was going to pick the Vikings to stay in the division as far as the leader. I can't do it. You guys, you beat me down. I'm taking the Lions. I'm taking the Lions to win the North. I do have the Vikings finish second, but I think it's going to be a fight. I think the Bears take a big step forward this year. I do. I think the Bears, if they can get a little bit more defense, they upgraded their line, they got a little bit more weapons. I think the Bears take a step forward, get to the 7-8 win range. I think they challenge the Vikings for second place. The Packers, on the other hand, man, I think the Packers are cashing it in. This is my theory. I think the Packers have decided that Jordan Love can't play. They were done with Aaron Rodgers. They wanted to move on. I don't think they think Jordan Love is that good. They're tanking it for the season, and they're waiting for one of these quarterbacks to come out this year so they can get a top one. That's what I believe. The Packers, I don't know. I just look at their roster and we'll see. Not on my fraud alert, because you got to be good to be on a supposed fraud alert, but I don't think the Packers are going to be very good. So if we're breaking down the division, here I got it right here for you. We got the Lions, we got the Vikings, we got the Bears, we got the Packers. I just think the Lions have taken a big, big step forward. Their defense, if they can get any type of defense, I think the Lions are going to be really good. They just got to be able to get some type of defense. And they did the second half of the season. And look at what they did. The first half of the year, though, that defense was horrible. But they got better. I'm glad that they didn't just fire all the coaches and they said, you know what? It's not the coaches. It's not the scheme. It's the players. We need better players. And they got better players. So I think the Lions take that division. I think the Vikings come in second. Bears in third, and the Packers bring up the rear. I just believe that that's what's going to happen. Moving on. So the NFC South, this is one of the easier divisions to pick, in my opinion, because the Saints, their roster is head and shoulders better than everybody else in that division. The Falcons, the Bucks, the Panthers. I think the Falcons will fight because the Falcons can run the football. The Falcons have a really, really good offensive line, so they can run the football. And so I think they're going to fight the Saints in battle, but they're not going to have enough. I'm still not a believer in Ritter, and maybe Desmond Ritter proves me wrong. Maybe he does. And I hope he does. But I'm not a believer yet. I'm not a believer. I know that they upgraded the running back position. Although it was decent last year, they upgraded. Bijan Robinson's going to be really, really good. I like what the Falcons are doing. As far as the Bucks, I don't know. It seems like they're in transition. I don't know how long that – I mean, without quarterback in place for the long term, it's hard to look down the line. Todd Bowles, I think, is a decent head coach, but this could be it for him. I don't think he should be on the hot seat, but I think that he is. You don't know exactly. I think they got to try to turn that roster over a little bit. So I'm not sure about the Bucks and how good the Bucks are going to be. Panthers, they're rebuilding. New quarterback, rookie. We'll see how Bryce Young does. That line's got to play better than what it did. I know it was preseason, but they looked awful. So hopefully it's better. And if they can run the ball to help him, that will be good for the Panthers. But that's what I got in that order. I think the Saints win it. They probably win it by 2 games. Then the Falcons, then the Bucks, then the Panthers. So next, we got a surprise. First, I got the Seahawks winning the division. Now, a lot of people are going to say, Brian, you're crazy. It's the 49ers. Look, there's always a reason behind my madness. I don't think Brock Purdy's that good. I think people got tape on him, and they're going to play him accordingly. The teams are just going to say, look, we're going to stop the run. Now, stopping the run against 49ers is easier said than done, but it can be done. And they're going to make Brock Purdy beat him with his arm, and I'm just not convinced he can do that. I'm not. He never had to play with real game pressure last year. He never had to do that. Don't tell me about the Raiders game. I don't want to hear about the Raiders, okay? We knew their roster wasn't going to hold up in the end, and it didn't. But he never had and what I mean by game pressure, can you come back when you're down 10 points with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter? He didn't have to play like that. And that's what he's going to have to do this year because I think the Seahawks are really good. They upgraded everywhere in the offseason. Look for the Seahawks to win this division. Seahawks to win this division. The Rams still rebuilding. This might be and probably should be Matthew Stafford's last year. On his way out, really young roster. They're starting over. And the Cardinals, whew, I mean, the definition of tanking is literally what the Cardinals are doing. Because they're either going to start a 5th-round rookie as their quarterback or a guy that's only been there for 3 weeks. I mean, Colt McCoy was there. They got rid of him. They're bad. The Cardinals are bad. They got new coach, new GM. They're starting completely over. I see them turning over the roster. It's going to be a 2 or 3 year rebuild, which seems like the Cardinals are always rebuilding. They're going to do it again. They're going to be bad. So Seahawks, 49ers, Rams, and Cardinals. Now for the NFC East. It pains me. But this is how it's going to end up, people. Just how you see it on the screen. The Cowboys, the Eagles, the Giants, and the Commanders. Yes, the Cowboys that I loathe. But the Cowboys roster is really good. Not to mention, 18 years of history lets me know that the Eagles are not going to repeat as division champs. 18 years in a row that's happened. So if I'm just playing the percentages as far as that is concerned, I'll go with history. But the Cowboys roster is crazy good. Crazy good. I see them winning this division. Now, it doesn't mean that the Eagles aren't going to be good, man. I'm not saying that. I think the Eagles are going to be very good. I just believe the Cowboys are going to be a little bit better during the regular season. So I got the Cowboys winning the division. Eagles in second. I think the Giants take a step back. Look, there's a lot of people that are not a believer of Daniel Jones, and I'm not, but I just don't. I think how they won last year, they're not going to be able to win again this year. They're going to make Daniel Jones beat you with his arm, and I don't think he's going to be able to do that. I think they take a step back. Not as far back as the Commanders, though. Ron Rivera is on alert as be on the, hot seat. His seat is flaming. New ownership coming in. Bad team last year. They were 8-1. I don't think they want to keep Ron Rivera around. He's already throwing his offensive coordinator under the bus even before a preseason snap. Just terrible. Terrible. I think he's one of those coaches that could get fired before the year's up. Ron Rivera's on that type of hot seat. He's on that type of hot seat. But looking at the division, really, really tough. But I think the Cowboys and Eagles separate themselves from the Giants and the Commanders. But I got the Cowboys winning it. I got the Cowboys winning it. Now for my Super Bowl pick. I thought long and hard. Battled with myself. Fought with myself. Didn't like myself. But if I'm being honest, oh, goodness gracious. It's the Cowboys. It's the Cowboys. Now, first off, there's going to be all of you out there that's saying, what? What are you talking about, Brian? I get it. It's crazy. Brian, you can't stand the Cowboys. You're correct. I can't. You love it when they lose. You're absolutely right. Brian, you drive to the Star and take pictures when they lose. Yes, I do. But if I'm being honest, I just think it's the year. I know every Cowboys fan in the world says that every year. I get it. But with what the NFC looks like and how good the Cowboys actually are, people are misconstruing Dak. They think that Dak is some turnover machine. He's not. Now, does he make turnovers in the playoffs? Yeah. But as far as regular season, Dak is not a proverbial interception guy where he's thrown. Last year was an anomaly for him. And if he gets back to playing the way that he usually plays, the Cowboys are going to be fine. They're going to be really good. Their roster is really good. Their defense is really good. They'll be able to run the football. I'm just telling you, it's all on Dak, though. It is all on him. Everything else, I believe, will be there. And if he plays, like I said, if he just goes back to how he played, not last year, but the previous seasons, the Cowboys got something. That's my Super Bowl pick. It makes me sick. It just makes me sick. But if I'm being honest with myself, let's just be honest. You guys know me. If I'm not anything, I'm honest. I think this is finally the Cowboys' year. Finally their year. Thank you guys again, man, for joining Big B Sports Talk. Again, we love all the support. Anywhere that you find a podcast, that's where we are. Big B Sports Talk. Also on YouTube, come subscribe to the page. Like, follow, and share. I appreciate you guys, and thank you.